So welcome to another episode of Fusion Tidbits from ERP Web Tutor. And in this video, we are going to show you how to set up the SFTP and automate BI reports. So previously, we have discussed a lot on BI reports, how to create BI reports. We have also shown you how to build HCM extracts and also how we can attach a BI report template with an HCM extract. Now, all of that are great when we are trying to run the report ad hoc, but also there's a lot of requirements for transferring these reports or these HCM extracts over to third-party vendors. So we don't normally run the report and send it. The reports are scheduled and then they also get transferred to a secured server from where the third-party vendors pick the file and process it. So that's what we are trying to show today on how we can automate, how we can configure the SFTP server so that this BI report that we build gets transferred over to that particular secured folder. So this is what we have in our agenda. So we're going to show you how to do the SFTP setup and automate BI reports. It starts with raising a service request with Oracle, and then also some additional setups on the BI administration end where we configure the SFTP server and we make sure that the connection is working. So once we do that, we are ready to automate the BI report, which we will see. So some of these steps we will not be able to demonstrate live because we actually need a working SFTP server. So to avoid that, we are going to show you the steps of how it is done, and then we're going to jump on to the actual BI report scheduling and selecting that SFTP. So we have Vijay with us. He is going to walk you through the steps and he's going to explain all the slides in details. Over to you, Vijay. On.
Hello everyone, this is Vijay here. So we will be looking into how to set up an SFTP server and automating an BI reports in Oracle. So I will walk you through the steps and navigations to do that. So the initial step for enabling the connection with third-party SFTP will be we need to raise an SR. So the Oracle will enable the connection, then the connection will be open to a third-party vendor. So for this, what we will do is we will just log in into Oracle support.oracle.com. So if you don't have any login details, please create one account in that with the organization support identifier. So once you create that, you will have all the access to all knowledge dashboards, service request, documentations, and everything. So you will be part of the community where discussions happens. So we'll see this. We have provided a link for this as well. So once you log into this support.oracle.com, you have a tab, service request tab. In this, just click on create SR. So this will take you to the page where you will fill in all the details required for creating an SR. So we will see the screenshots for those as well. As I said, this is Oracle my Oracle support page. So we have a tab called service request. Click on this. So the page, there will be an option to create an SR. So once you create SR, you see that there are many mandatory details to be filled in. So first one will be the problem description and problem summary. So after that, you see just bottom. So you have to select your service type. Like if you're working on global HR, then select global HR. You have a drop-down list of drop-downs and you can select one amongst them. So the second thing, mandatory thing would be environment. So any organization working for any client might have multiple environments like dev and prod and test, something like that. So whichever pod you want to enable the pod, you just select that pod or environment. So select problem type. So we need to select the problem type accordingly. So since we are like raising an SR for enabling the port, so I have just highlighted the problem type which we usually give for raising SR for this purpose. So it's reports and analytics. So if you see here in the parentheses, options are given. run, customize, schedule, subject areas, tables, seeded reports, and FTP. So we are dealing with FTP now. So I will just select this a problem type and we can proceed ahead. So provide all the mandatory details like problem summary, just give a small description of the problem, and you provide your port. Generally for SFTPs the default port would be 22, and the server details like server name, so no need to provide username or password here, just a server name as well as port details would be sufficient for enabling the port. So either you can give server name or the IP address. IP address would be some numerical character like 68 dot 100 dot something like that.
So one
That's it.
question,
So
Vijay.
yes,
So this is the server name
yes,
that the third party vendor has provided, correct?
yes, correct. So these details will be provided by third party vendor. We need to get the details from them. So with those details, we will just raise an SR and set up that in the Oracle. This is the procedure.
And
So we
one more
won't share
question.
username and password with Oracle, just the server name and the port. Yes, go ahead.
So if we have multiple vendors, let's say we want to send some files to Fidelity, some files to ADP, so we'll have to repeat this
Okay.
process multiple times, correct?
You can create one SR and you can add multiple server names into that.
Okay, great.
So if you have all the details ready with you can just create one SR for enabling multiple ports.
Okay, excellent. Go ahead.
Okay. So once this is done, you have a next option where you give all your communication details, either email or phone number. Then select a severity according to your emergency. You just select your severity. Then go ahead to click on submit. You need to just follow up, and generally this process takes 1 or 2 days to get completed. Once this is done, Oracle will notify you. They will update the SR that your SR has been successfully completed. The port has been opened. So once you get that message, you are ready. Your connection is ready to be set up in Oracle. So we will also see. I will just walk you through how we will set up that SFTP in Oracle. So before going that, I will just show you the quick steps for doing that. So we have administration page under reports and analytics. We have created multiple reports in reports and analytics page. That we have an option called administration where most of the setups related to BI publisher has been done. So in that under delivery, we have a FTP option. Just click on add server in that and provide all your details. Here we have to provide all the details regarding the SFTP server. So it's username, port, if it is secure FTP or not, password, directory, and everything. So I have just given few screenshots of those. So this is my reports and analytics page where we have created these reports. So in this, if you see in the right top corner, we have an option administration. I have highlighted in red. So click on that. It will take you to the administration page where all these settings are done. So under BI Publisher, we have Manage BI Publisher. Click on that. So it will take you to the administration setup page where like data sources, security center, all these details are provided. So since this deals with the delivery, so under delivery we have an FTP option. So click on FTP. So once you click on FTP, it will take you to giving a new new server option. So we will go there. We will give all the details. So all the mandatory details have been marked with asterisk already, like server name. So server name can be user defined. It can be anything. So if I have a third party name called ADP, we can give our client name, client initial underscore ADP underscore test underscore prod, something like that. It is user defined. So as I said, for port, it will always be 22 by default for SFTPs. Host again, it can be a server address or an IP address as well. So we have to always check mark this use secure FTP. So we will see this in live demo. So you can provide remote directory as well, because for every SFTP there will be some directory, there will be some folders placed in that SFTP. So we can select that in which folder our file has to be placed. So we can select, we can provide those directory accordingly. Provide username and password details and click on test connection. So if Oracle has completed the setup, open the connection for Oracle, for a third party vendor, sorry. So you will get a successful message in that. So we will go for live demo now. I've logged into our application. So this is our home page. I will click on navigator and reports and analytics. So inside that, I will click on browse catalog. We have a administration here, as I shown in the screenshot. So click on administration. So under BI publisher, we have manage BI publisher. We have FTP here. Click on this. So this is the page where you set up your FTP details. So once we set up here, then it is available for us to deliver to this third party. So before automating an HCM extract or before automating a BI report to particular third party vendor, we have to set up in this page. Otherwise, the option won't be available for us. So I've just added my server. I will just click on this. I will just show you what all details I have given. So server name, user defined, host, use secure FTP, username and password. This is sufficient. So if you wish to give remote directory here, you can provide it any directory here, any folder name present in the SFTP. You can even skip this step here and provide this detail while scheduling an HCM extract or scheduling an BI report. So you can do that as well. So test connection, then click on apply. So I'm going back. So I have set up this FTP details. Now I will automate my BI reports and I will deliver my output to this FTP vendor. So we will go to our BI report, which we have developed a few days back. Under VJ reports. So I have my sample report here. So if you see, if you open directly, output will be visible. If you edit, you can edit the report details. So we have a more option here. If you click on this, so we got an first option is schedule. So before scheduling, just check the permissions. If you have all sort of permissions, because delivering your file to an SFTP requires a permission. So if you click on permissions, so we require 3 roles. One will be BI administration role, which has full control, BI author role, again full control, and BI consumer role. So if you don't have any one of this, click on add button here and add these roles. So these 3 roles are required. Okay. So again, I will click on more. I will schedule. So the page got launched into a general tab in which you have a report path and parameters. If you are using some input parameters in your report, then it will be shown here. So while scheduling your report, you can select any input parameter. For example, I want to schedule my automate my BI report only for one location. So you can select this and you can schedule it. So if you want to select for all, just select this. That's it. And the effective date. So effective date, if you provide date as the current date, which is 4/15/2018, so every time when this interface or BI report runs, it will run for this particular date only. So instead we have to give a dynamic date. So whenever this report gets scheduled, or whenever this report runs, it will automatically, it should take the current date. So the format would be curly braces, dollar, in caps, sysdate. So opening and closing parenthesis, again dollar and curly braces. So this is the format which we provide for dynamic parameter for date. So if you provide this sysdate, so again I will once again repeat, if you provide this date in this format, so if my file is running every week, so I'm scheduling it for weekly basis every Monday. So today while running this file, it will take today's date, like 4/15, and next Monday when this file gets run, so again it will take the particular Monday's date. It won't take current date as of today's date. That is the significance of providing this parameter here. Okay, I will click on next tab, output. So if you have multiple layouts, for example, any report can have multiple layouts. So whatever layout, whatever template you want to select, you can select. So I'm selecting the sample one which we have attached. So format, since this is a RTF template, we have an option to choose which format our output should be. So if you are using eText template, which we have shown earlier, so there won't be any option. It will directly delivers text output. So now I'm selecting PDF here. We have a destination given here. So select FTP in this and add destination. Scroll down. So we have two FTP servers. So if you see in the administration page, there were two servers added. And once you add the server, it will be visible here. So we have two servers added here, and we have an option of selecting two servers. So I'm selecting the one which I have created. So remote directory. So I have a folder called /home/output in my SFTP. So remote file name. So while transferring from Oracle to SFTP server, so that file name gets remotely changed. So you have to provide the file name for transferring the file. So what I'm doing is I'm just giving SFTP, let's go test, let's go output. Also, we have covered how to provide dynamic file naming convention. So I will provide that as well. %y, m, and %t. So username password is not mandatory here, since we have provided username password details in SFTP server setup itself in this administration page. So I'm not providing any username or password detail here. So we have to fill in all these details, and you have to check once again, like there should not be any space or trailing spaces or something included in this. Otherwise this gets into error. Now the next tab would be schedule. So you have to say select the frequency. So based on the requirement by the third party vendor or client, you have to schedule the frequency, like hourly, daily, weekly, or something like that. So I will select weekly on every Monday, or we can select anything. So better I will select for once just to show the output. So run now. Okay, I will just show you another thing. So if you select monthly basis, So you have an option to select which month of the year you want to schedule the interface, and the timing based on the time zone you can select, and when from start to end. So generally a third party vendor will request to schedule the file for 10 years or 15 years, something like that. So you can give a start date as like April 15 2018, and the end date would be April 15 2028. So it will schedule for 20 years for every January. So every January, so first Monday, second Monday, third Monday we can choose, or any particular day also we can choose. We have an option for that as well. So my file needs to be scheduled on every month. So what I will do, I will select all these months, and every second Monday. So I'm selecting all months and every second Monday. So I will select my timing, for example 10 a.m. 10 a.m. and that will be in CST. So you can choose your time zone here. Okay, same thing you can give it here as well. Just change the year as 2028. So this will run for 10 years every month, second Monday. So we have an option to choose all frequency here. So once this is done, setting up frequency, go to notification. So where we need to we can notify some email address if the report gets completed or failed or completed with warnings. So we can check mark this and give an email address here. So currently I'm not providing any details. Click on diagnostic. So if you just enable this, what happens is while every report run, there will be a diagnostic file error log generated, where if some for some reason if your report gets into error, you can check the error messages. So once this is done, click on submit. So give any report job name. So sample schedule. I'm just giving my this name, sample schedule. Click on OK. So we got a message successfully submitted. Go to return. Click on home. We have an option called report jobs. Click on this. In this page, you can see all the jobs that have been submitted. So we have only one active job which has been submitted, and it is visible here. If you have multiple reports you have submitted, and it will be visible here, multiple things. And if you want to see the history of what report has been run, so we have a report job history as well. Report job history. Since we don't have any history now, so it will be null, I guess. So this is history. So we can see all a list of submitted jobs here, submitted reports here. Okay. So now quickly we can see how to schedule an HCM extract. So this is about completely about BI reports, and now we will see how to schedule an HCM extract. I will click on data exchange. Click on manage extract definitions. Select for the HCM extract which you have created. So we have already covered how to set up a delivery option in HCM Extract. So I have already set up one delivery option here. I'll show you the setup once. So in BI, the difference between the setup in BI report and setup in HCM Extract is, in BI report you will be giving giving SFTP details on ad hoc basis. Means while you are scheduling it, you will be providing that details. But in HCM Extract, you have to set up in the HCM Extract level itself, and just click on submit so that it will deliver to FTP server. So if you see here, so I have provided the details. So we have seen last time how to give set up this delivery option without any delivery type, keeping this as none. So this time instead I have kept this as FTP. So when I keep this as FTP, there will be options coming up here: server name, remote directory, remote file name, and secure FTP. So server name we have already set up here, VJ test SFTP. Remote directory will be whatever directory you wish to deliver your file. Remote file name, so the file name. So we have, again I have given a dynamic date here. Secure FTP. So this should always be a true. So by default. So once this setup is done, click on submit. So your setup will be saved. Okay. So after this, the process would be similar. Submit a processor report. Submit extracts. Give some extract runtime. So I'm just giving it as 0415 score 1. Effective date, we have removed that condition, all attributes. So here you have an option to as soon as possible or using a schedule. So click on using a schedule. So we can select, we have option to select the frequency like weekly, daily, and monthly. So you can select weekly, provide start date and end date. So my start date would be 4:15 and end date would be something like 5:15.
So one question, Vijay.
Yes, go ahead.
So this schedule, does it have the same options as we saw in the BI? I think we saw more options when we selected weekly.
In BI, we have more flexibility to select frequency, but here we have some restrictions to select. So if you want any more customizations for any different frequency, so we have to write a separate fast formula for that.
Okay.
So we have some limitations. We have only daily, monthly, and weekly, and once. So if you want, you can write a fast formula to include that in pay sample flow schedule.
So we can see how to write it using that formula, and then we can create our own formula, and that's the specific formula type that we have to select, right, when we're writing the
Correct.
formula. Okay.
Correct.
And then once we do that, then that formula will appear, and inside the formula we can set whatever frequency we want.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Yeah. So once you set this frequency, click on submit. So your extract will be submitted and it will run as per the frequency. So that's it all about setting up SFTP and automating an interface or report. So any questions you have in scheduling or SFTP setup, you can just post your questions in our forum, which is always open for you.
Okay, so thank you, Vijay. So this was very useful information. Folks, if you're trying to get into HCM technical, I hope that this will be a very useful piece of information for you. And for all your HCM needs and training, please do visit us at www.erpwebtutor.com. And if you like this video, don't forget to like it. Thanks again for watching.